Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. You want to follow along? Genesis 24, beginning in verse number 10. And if you will, like, share, comment on the post. And then we have these words. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, taking all sort of choice gifts from his master. And he rose and went to Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. And he made the camels kneel down outside the city by the well of water at the time of evening, the time when women go out to draw water. There's I think, a basic lesson here for us. Of course, the servant is looking for a bride, specifically for Isaac, and he is to do. Basically, he is standing in Isaac's place. He is to do what Isaac would have done if Isaac himself was on this trip, by taking of the gifts, and he is Isaac's representative. And so he goes to a city called Nahor. And the reason for that particular city is that city is named after Abraham's brother. And so he is most likely then to find a female, a woman, who meets Abraham's criteria, one who is of their clan, one who believes in their God, in the God of heaven and earth, Jehovah, like Abraham and his family does. And so he goes to the well at evening when people come to draw water. And I think there's an important prayer lesson there for us, if we care to hear it. We may not want to hear it. And that is that the servant, notice what he does. He takes 10 camels, he departs, takes gifts. He arose and went to Mesopotamia, the city of Nahor. He made his camels lay down. He went out by the well at the time of the evening. There's at least 8 things going on there that the man puts himself in the right position for God to answer prayer. That's something that I think we need to learn as well in our prayer life. We tend many times to pray and then simply sit down and say, all right, God, hit me with it. Bless me. Do something, God. This man prayed, but he also went. He went to this city. He took gifts. He went to where the women should be. And so he didn't just stand around expecting and waiting on the right woman to come knocking on his door and say, hey, do you know any single guys? He went out and he took, made an effort. He acted to get up and go. If you're going to pray for a job, go put in some applications. If you're going to pray for food, go to work, make some money, buy some food. It is, I think, one of the lessons here that we see. Certainly there is a time for faith and a time for waiting on God, but sometimes we pray for things that are somewhat within our control. If you're like this situation, if you're praying for a mate, if you're praying for a girl or a guy in your life, ladies, if you're praying for a man, gentlemen, if you're praying for a female, go to church. Go see if go somewhere where good godly women gather. Go somewhere where good godly men gather. Put yourself in the right place for God to answer your prayer, for God to bless you. He may have the perfect job for you, but if you don't get up off the couch and go apply for a job, they're probably not going to come to the house knocking and saying, hey, you want to go to work? It just doesn't work that way. And so there are things, and I think most of you, I think, I'm going to give us all credit for having enough sense to know those things. That there are things, yes, I'm not saying you don't pray for a job, but I'm saying you don't pray for a job and then not go look for a job. You don't pray for a spouse and then not go to where you can meet someone. You don't, you don't pray for a car and then never go to a car lot and look at cars. I mean, you just have to use some common sense. Yes, we pray that God would direct us to the right one, that God would help us, that God would guide us. But the whole principle of being guided is that we're going somewhere. And so I just encourage you to think about your prayer life. Is there something that I could be doing? Don't get ahead of God. Don't try to outdo God. But again, when you pray for something, I use my saying again. Y'all have heard it. Matter of fact, I just said it in the last few days, if I remember right. As Vance Havner always said, it's one thing to pray for a rabbit. It's another thing to bait a trap. This man baits a trap. He goes out to where the females should be, takes gifts, is ready to actually meet one for his master. Think about it. When you pray, is there something we ought to be doing to give our feet, our prayer legs, to get them, get our prayers off the ground and go look and go help and go do our part in that prayer? Think about it. Have a great day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.